Due to social media, they've gained a lot of attention. They've been around for a while, but social media really put them on a platform. Some of you may know them as Hebrew Israelites. What the Hebrew Israelites have preached isn't something new, but it was new to social media. And so a lot of people that had never heard the message or had never focused on the message began to pay attention, more attention, closer attention. One thing that I am wholeheartedly in agreement with, we're going to focus on that today. For some of you, maybe you've heard it before. For some, it may be eye-opening. But I believe, due to my study, I've come across some information that I believe is irrefutable, if not near irrefutable. And that is that the slaves, transatlantic slavery, those slaves are Israelites. And that if you're descendants of slaves, you're descendants of Israelites. Descendants of Hebrews. Now at one point, I was aware of this. As I began to move forward and study, I did come to the conclusion that maybe some were. Wasn't quite sure about all. But now I hold a position that all were.
All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise going on to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. Now, in this lesson, you heard, can't remember the pastor's name. Pastor Fred Price Jr. agrees with the Israelites. Okay, and from what I've learned, he's a very prominent pastor. Has a mega church with over 8,000 members or whatever. His father was pretty wealthy, basically, he said that he agreed with the Hebrew Israelites, and they've been learning from the Hebrew Israelites, okay? And one second. And they learn from the Hebrew Israelites, okay? And you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything but build this truth up and make this truth true. You see, you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. All right, so you have these pastors that are now saying, hey, well, you know what, they're right. Well, we know we've been right because that's what the Bible says, and we're teaching the Bible according to the Bible, not according to some doctrine, okay? And the Lord told us that he was going to put us into captivity. He was going to punish you, All right, so I'm gonna start off with a quick. I was gonna start with another precept, but this one just came into mind because, right, it all ties in. This is Amos 3:2. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, Hear this word the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. So this is directing this not to the world, not to the other nations, but to the children of Israel. Against the whole family which I have brought up out of the land of Egypt, saying. So the Lord said that he only brought one family, which was the Israelites, out of Egypt. Okay? He didn't bring Canaan. He didn't bring Mizraim. He didn't bring Ham. He didn't bring Put, He didn't bring the Amalekites. He didn't bring Moab, Ammon. He didn't bring Ishmael, He didn't bring any of these other nations. It was Israelites. He brought us out of Egypt, okay? And he says, now here's a point. He says, you only, that's singular. You only. It's singular and it's possessive. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. You see? So everything that the Hebrew Israelites have been going through is because the Lord has an ought with us, because we're his family. He's only known us. He hasn't known these other nations. Okay? and these pastors for the longest of times preaching that that every nation can be saved. Every nation can come in. Every nation is a part of this. And it's not so. Every nation was not given this. This was only given to the Israelites. Okay? And the Spirit is moving. The Spirit is waking everybody up. Okay? Even some of these Christians. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go to another quick one that just came into mind. This is the book of Acts 7. Seven and 48, and it says, "Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, saith the prophets." So the Lord was never in. He was never in these houses to begin with. Pastor Fred Price. Okay, he said that these houses are harlot houses. All right, and he doesn't dwell in them. You have on the Esau suit. You have on the phallic symbol that they call a tie. You know, the Lord, he gave us instructions on what to wear when we're teaching his word. That's why we're out on the highways and the byways, you know, with our fringes on. Okay. You see, so the Lord, this is something completely different than what the Lord wanted. All right. And yes, the Lord did scatter us among the nations, and we're going to get that. All right. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Because he mentioned the transatlantic slave trade and right here. And I'm not going to go all the way into it because we've already went over it before. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee again." This is Deuteronomy 28:6-8. "And the Lord shall bring thee again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more. And there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." And of course, we went into before, this word "buy" actually means redeem, because we were bought on auction block. So how could you be bought and not be bought? Doesn't make any sense. It means redeem, which means that we will never be able to get out of the situation until the Lord takes us out of the situation, right? We will never be able to get out of the situation until the Lord takes us out of the situation. The only one that can take us out of it is the one that put us into it, okay? And this is why, like Deuteronomy 28:66, and it says, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance upon the assurance of thy life." And that's when police get behind you, you know, when you're moving around through the neighborhoods, you know, you got all of these other jakes, you know, you go into a gas station or something like that, you know, for any reason. You know, my rib was out the other night, and she was just at a dinner party or at her friend's house, and they just started shooting outside. "Hey, y'all stay upstairs," and they just started shooting outside. You know, and they ducking, and and one of them straight bullets could have easily, you know, flew somewhere and hit somebody. There was a guy a couple of days ago who was just on the street, just shooting people randomly on the road. Just had his pistol out, just shooting people that drove past. And on Father's Day, and one of the dudes got struck, Jake, and died. Okay, so you don't have any insurance of your life. You don't know if and that's part of these curses. Okay, It says that it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto another, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And look at where he is right now. He's in a harlot house, right? So now he's coming to the mind frame. Now we don't know what he's going to do with this information. We don't know if he's going to take this information and say, okay, they're right. Let me go ahead and, really come back to my heritage and stop teaching this garbage. But I mean, what he got going on is hard to let go. You got 8,000 members following you. You got that cash cow coming in. I mean, you can talk the talk. You can talk the talk. All right. I think it's 26. Like all this, 32, 33. I mean, all this stuff happened to us. It's just like, and this is what I wanted, 37. And now should become an astonishment, a proverb, a byword among the nations, whether the Lord shall send it. And we are. Jake is hated. Jake is referred to as a nigger. I remember you had some NBA stars that went to China to play. Right? These men are so-called stars, right? And you had Chinese standing at the airport talking about some nigger. This is all the way in China. Now, China ain't the one controlling trade. China ain't the one. Jake ain't the one controlling trade. Jake ain't the one starting these wars. Jake ain't the one scamming people, scheming people. Jake ain't the one that's oppressing. And yet, Jake is the one that's hated the most. Isn't that? How can that even be possible? That the person that ain't even the man that ain't even doing shit is hated the most. Okay? Everywhere he goes. So when you start looking at these prophecies, it's easy to see who these prophecies apply to. Just look at who it's done to in the world. That's why it says, thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword. And then that's what it is in 26, I believe. 26 where it says... that wasn't it. All right. So, let me see. It's 45. All right, here it is. Moreover, these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which I command thee. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So this is how you know, because when you ride down the highway and you see those billboards that say gas station here, McDonald's here, here's here, that's a sign showing you what it is and where it is. And that's us all day. What it is and where it is. These people are going to be going through all of this shit no matter where they are in the world. Okay? So when you see people of this kind, when you see certain people, certain demographics of people going through this, you can associate these people with the ones that were just spoken about in the book. And that's it. That's the end of it right there. But Esau has done such a good job in trying to make everyone else believe that we're not, and he is. You see? He's done a really good job. And now it's coming to the fact that the Lord he's removed that covering cast, and he's revealing all things, and showing you who his people really are. All right. This is Acts. I already got at this. Howbeit, we're going to go to Matthew 24, and we're going to read, and it says, because he talked about the interiors of Africa. So when you therefore see the abominations of desolations spoken of the prophet Daniel stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. Then let them which is in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him which is on the rooftop, on the housetops, not come in down to take them out of the house. Neither let him which is in the field turn back to take his clothes. You see? So this is when, the Romans had ransacked Judea, and Israel had to flee. Okay? And then when you go to Revelation, the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, and the 16th verse, it says, this is talking about when that happened. This is talking about Roman persecution. To link with the Matthew that we just read. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth. This is Revelation 12 and 15. The serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. That was the Roman army, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman. And that was when it says the earth helped the woman, that was when Israel, because Israel is likened unto a comely woman unto the Lord, okay? And when Israel ran into the interiors of Africa, most of the Roman soldiers that were looking for the Israelites that were pursuing them couldn't get through the brush, okay? So the earth was helping the woman to move through Africa, which was the Israelites, so they can escape Roman persecution, okay? And it says, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh, and have gave the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. You see, so this was going into this Matthew right here, this Matthew 24 and 16, okay? And that was telling you what happened. Like when Judah fled, these are the things that were happening. Okay? And this is how they got into the West Bank of Africa. That Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, could take place, 28 and 68, and the Lord shall bring thee again into Egypt. That's how this was able to take place, because, Jake was in Africa. He was in the interiors of Africa at the time. All right? So now we've gotten to the point to where we understand that we're waking up. All right. Well, as a matter of fact, before I get that, let me go to this Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, because I wanted to bring that out just to make a point. This is Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. I'll go down to the 9th verse, and it says, for behold, it's 19. This is Ezekiel 36 and 19. It says, and I scattered them. This is past tense. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. You see that? So the Lord, he said he was going to scatter us, and here he said he did scatter us, okay, among the nations. So we've been scattered, okay? Now, predominantly, most of the Jacobites are here in North America, but we're all over the world, okay? We're all over the world. All right, the Lord scattered us among the nations. All right. Now we can go back to this Baruch. It says, This is Baruch 2:30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." And that's what has happened. For the longest of time, Jake thought he was black, he thought he was a Negro, he thought he was African American. Any type of byword that these devils can come up with, that's what we roll with. And now you have a lot of Jake saying, "Nah, we're Hebrew Israelites. We're not niggas." Okay? But they want to keep that negative black and nigga and those negative undertones on us, because that's vibrational. It's to keep us in a certain position, but unfortunately, prophecy says we're not going to be in that position. Prophecy says we're going to remember ourselves, and that's what's happening. Even those who Esau has given something to, they're starting to realize, as his pastors starting to realize, that everything that they were taught were lies. Even though you're reading out of the same book that we're reading from, you don't understand it. You've been taught lies. This mean this mean that, and it don't mean none of that shit. Okay? Like old boy Fred Price's father, I believe he was a prosperity doctrine teacher. There's nothing in there that talks about prosperity. The Bible is filled with dark sayings, lamentations, and woes. Okay? The only good part of the story in the Bible is when Israel get the victory. Everything else is like, damn. There's some good points where the Lord gave Israel a reprieve or whatever, but for the most part, it's full of dark sayings, lamentations, and woe. All right. So anyway, we're at one more precept. This is Romans 8:16. Because we don't go by your genealogy. We don't go by what you say. We go by what the scriptures say. Because there's no way to know outside of the spirit. Okay? Because Esau jacked everything up. This is Romans 8:16. And it reads, "The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of the Most High." You see? So we're children of the Most High. And how do we know that? It's through our spirit. It's not through genealogies, because that can be faked. That can be lied. It's not about none of that. It's about the spirit. And when you hear this word and it resonates with you, and you want to go out and teach it, and you want to go out and live it, that means you're an Israelite. It's in your blood. That's the only way you can find out, because the heathen, scriptures talk about that and I'm gonna do a video about that the name of the Lord is terrible and dreadful unto the heathen, so they're not gonna speak it. This is why they came up with the name JC. This is why they came up with the name, all these different variations of the name, because the name is terrible unto them. They don't even want to speak that name. Okay? Because it's not for them to speak, it's for us to speak. All right? So they're not. So when we go out and we learn and we repeat and teach and live this, that shows us that the blood in our veins is Israelite blood, because we want to obey the spirit to the best of our ability. Now, is that every Jake? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is a certain elect, and it's even the elect that's among the scattered. Okay, but some of our people just got to come back on the other side, which in all actuality is an act of mercy. Okay, so hey, this truth is getting out there and it's growing. All right, it has reached the gates of the nobles, and we're at a great turning point right now. All right, and this place is about to be through. There's a lot of great things happening right now. It's a great time to be alive. Especially if you're somebody that's been doing this work. Lord willing, we get out of here soon. But with that, I'm gonna end it off by giving all praise going on to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Till the next time, like you must say shalom.